Welcome to my channel, Musing Light. My name is Marvin. This video is about a common objection that some Christians who are against revelations and spiritual experiences like to raise. Particularly the issue about twisting biblical passages or taking verses out of context to support revelations and experiences. I have noticed that many of the people who cite this objection really didn't bother to look deeply into the Bible. They didn't notice that God does not always follow context. For instance, if the critics had bothered to look at the messianic prophecies, they would have noticed that many of the passages cited as fulfillment of those prophecies were verses taken out of context. Let's look at some of them, shall we? Zechariah 13:7 Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, against the man who is my companion, says the Lord of hosts. Strike the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered, then I will turn my hand against the little ones. Jesus claimed that the above prophecy was fulfilled when he was captured and his disciples all scattered, Matthew 26 verse 31, Mark 14 verse 27. Now, if you look at the context of the passage in Zechariah 13, it has nothing to do with striking Jesus and scattering sheep. So, technically, Jesus and God took verse 7 out of its context to claim prophecy fulfillment. Second messianic prophecy found in Zechariah 11 verses 12 to 13, Then I said to them, If it is agreeable to you, give me my wages, and if not, refrain. So they weighed out for my wages 30 pieces of silver. And the Lord said to me, Throw it to the potter, that princely price they set on me. So I took the 30 pieces of silver and threw them into the house of the Lord for the potter. Its fulfillment is found in Matthew 27 verses 3 to 10, when Judas delivered Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. Again, as in the first prophecy mentioned, the context in Zechariah 11 is unrelated to Jesus being delivered for 30 pieces of silver. Third messianic prophecy found in Psalm 22:18 They divide my garments among them, and for my clothing they cast lots. Its fulfillment is found in Matthew 27 verse 35, Mark 15 verse 24, Luke 23 verse 34 and John 19 verse 24. Check out the context in Psalm 22, it does not say anything about Jesus being stripped naked. Psalm 22 is a prayer to God and the author of the psalm telling God what he suffered and what would happen in the future. Nothing about Jesus being crucified and stripped from all clothing. Another passage I like to use is found in Luke 20 verses 37 to 38. But even Moses showed in the burning bush passage that the dead are raised, when he called the Lord the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. For he is not the God of the dead but of the living, for all live to him. This was Jesus talking, the passage he was referring to is Exodus 3. Now, if you read Exodus 3, you will not see even a hint of God of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, meaning that all three of them are alive to God. Where did Jesus get that truth from that they are alive to God? So, that truth is hidden in the words, God of Abraham, God of Isaac and God of Jacob. Did Jesus follow context there? No. But when people read or hear that Jesus himself twisted the scriptures, they are appalled as if I were blaspheming against the Lord because he would never do such dishonest thing. A matter of perspective. Critics see it as twisting. A better view is, bringing a hidden truth out of the words into the light. For have you not read in 1 Corinthians 2 verses 6 to 8? However, we speak wisdom among those who are mature, yet not the wisdom of this age, nor of the rulers of this age, who are coming to nothing. But we speak the wisdom of God in a mystery, the hidden wisdom which God ordained before the ages for our glory, which none of the rulers of this age knew, for had they known, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. If not even the fallen angels and the demons were able to figure out God's plans, and they surpass humans in knowledge, experience, mental capabilities and spiritual faculties, how do you think that you, with all your studying, can know and understand all the Bible and God's mysteries? The Pharisees and the Sadducees with all their knowledge of the scriptures could not understand Jesus, the disciples could not understand Jesus, but Christians think that they can understand God with just studying the Bible. This is why we still need revelation today. We need revelation to know and understand God, His purposes, mysteries, plans and designs. Critics like to say that everything is already revealed in the Bible, but is it? Do we all know and understand fully what being a son of God is? Is it only that we have a Father that loves us? Is that all there is to being a son of God? Or does it mean more than we currently know and understand? Do we really know and understand the whole Bible by studying alone? What does being already seated with Christ in heavenly places mean? Ephesians 2 verse 6. Some will say, positionally, we are seated in heavenly places. But it's more than that. It's spiritually, we are seated in heavenly places. That means our spirits are in more than one place at the same time. Do we all know what our spirits are capable of? Do we all know what our souls are capable of? But many Christians are content with staying stuck in the basics forever, repeating the same basic stuff for more than 10 years. How many messages have I not heard many Sundays at churches that were the same things they have talked about for more than a decade? About repenting from sins, about praising and worshiping God, about being a good Christian, about spiritual warfare, about preaching the gospel, about being saved, about forgiveness, about being a good parent or a good spouse, about prayer, about being grateful, about healing, about trusting God, about heaven and hell, about the end times. But critics call those who want to learn something new, people with itchy ears. Surely, scientists who are always in the process of learning new things and discovering new things are also people with itchy ears and eyes. But isn't it written in Daniel 12 verse 4, that knowledge shall increase? You think that it means scientific knowledge, but it's knowledge in all fields, including the spiritual field. Hence, new revelations will still take place. It's prophesied in your own Bibles. It's also why the wrong belief from cessationists that which is perfect mentioned in 1 Corinthians 13 verse 10 means the Bible does not stand the test. There are many more reasons I can bring up to counter the argument from cessationists, but going into further detail would make the video longer than it is. All of the above should be sufficient to support the reality that God still gives revelation today and He still speaks through ways that are not limited to the Bible. Those who attack spiritual communication don't realize that they are attacking the same foundation the Bible is built on. Without the revelations and spiritual encounters, the Bible would only be a historical book. And after all, God is a spirit, spiritual dynamics and ways are far more superior than the physical, they are more efficient than the physical as well. So, are you saying that God would prefer physical ways to communicate when He knows that there is a superior technology inside you? When words sometimes cannot even express the totality of what you want to convey, but you think that a book is the best that God can do to communicate? Please, critics and cessationists, reconsider your beliefs so that you can grow and expand. I hope that this video can renew the minds of all who watch and listen and that you had your vision and your minds expanded. If you found this content helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and share if you want. Blessings to all.